All right, so it is Wednesday, March. It is Wednesday, March 15th, and we are halfway through our really hard 3 weeks of really focusing on our work for Flex before spring break. And most of you who are here right now are doing a pretty good job of keeping up with it. But it is a time of year where people tend to lose motivation and fall behind. And I'm noticing that happening with some people. And so I went through this morning and took a look at Mod 11, for example. On Mod 11, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids who haven't even turned in the first assignment on Mod 11, 1101. On 1102, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 kids who haven't turned it in. That's the quiz for the end of Mod 1102. There's another assignment on 1102. Remember, I said there were 2 assignments. So the second one was to turn in your graphic organizer for your story, or share with me some reason why you didn't turn it in. And only one person turned that assignment in. So all of you guys who are here right now, except for Sasha, none of you turned that one in. So that was assignment 1102, and I thought I copied it right here. Let me see if I did. I think it's right here. Let me see here. Yeah. So let me put this into the chat right now. And if you shared your Google Doc with me and it has your plan for your story for Mod 11, you need to go to that assignment right now and submit something saying, Ms. Laws, I shared my Google Doc with you. Because only Sasha submitted something for that assignment. Nobody else has submitted anything on 1102. Okay. So I don't mean to embarrass you guys, but I'm just going to read out if I see any of you here who need to do an assignment who maybe know. So like Hunter, you did not turn in 1101. Write it down, please. Grab a pencil, kick your dog off your lap, sit up and write down 1101. You need to get it in. Is Nora here this morning? She's not. Kainoa, you did not get 1101 in, and Javen, you didn't get 1101 in, which is weird. You guys are usually really good about getting things in, so I think you must have just missed it. So please write it down. 1102, Bree, you didn't get 1101 or 1102 in, so you need to write those down, please. Hunter, you didn't get 1102 in. In fact, you haven't turned in any language arts for this mod. You need to get on it, please. Luis, where are you? I thought I saw you come in. I don't see you here now. Maybe you're not here. Okay. And then 1102, everybody needs to turn in. And then 1103 that you were supposed to turn in yesterday, the paragraph. Javier, you need to turn that in still. You're usually pretty good about getting it in, maybe a day late, but get that in. Anna, you need to finish your paragraph for yesterday about how John and Paul reacted differently to the backpack. Brianna, you need to get that turned in. Amoy, you need to get that turned in. It's a lot of people. Hunter, you need to get that turned in. Lauren, you didn't get that turned in yet. 1103. Luis and Kainoa, you need to get it turned in. And Mila, you need to get it turned in. And Megan, you need to get it turned in. So that's 1103. That was yesterday's. It's not too far back. And then today you need to, I think it's not due today. I think it's due tomorrow. But I'm not sure. Let's check. 1104 is going to be a quiz, and I'm going to go through that in a minute, but we'll talk about that in a second. So I wanted to talk for a minute about the rule on whether or not you attend live Zooms. In order to be marked in attendance, you have to interact with me in some way. So you must either attend a Zoom session or you must email me and talk to me. Like if you email me and say, Ms. Laws, I'm going to miss the afternoon Zoom, but I'm going to do the assignment, then that counts as being here. But you also need to turn in the assignments. So those of you who are getting all your assignments in, you can skip some of the Zooms. You don't have to be here for all of them. And here are the kids who are doing an amazing job of getting all their assignments turned in. My rock star submitters are Amadi, Eli, Amoy, Christian, Megan, Sasha, Vivi. You guys are awesome at getting every single assignment turned in. Christian, yeah, I guess I said that. You guys can skip some assignments because you're doing them independently. But here's what happened with one of the math assignments recently. 1004 was a really hard math assignment. And a lot of you guys came to that class, but some of you didn't. And then I got a lot of emails from people saying, hey, I don't understand 1004. It's really hard. So here's the problem. I'm fine with you asking me questions if you've watched the class, but I can't teach that class to every single person independently. That means I would have to teach the class 22 times. So if you missed the class and you're having problems with the assignment, you always need to go right to the resources on our homepage. So right here on our homepage, you need to go to the resources and you need to look for that assignment, go down and you'll find it. Math 104, watch this video to see how to do homework. And then because kids had problems, I taught it again. Another demo of 104 is right here. This one's shorter, okay? Yes, Kainoa.
The thing about that, I can't watch YouTube. Like I can't get on it.
Okay, well then Kainoa, you need to come to the lessons, okay?
I did come to.
Then that's great. Then you're not who I'm talking to. What I'm talking to is a kid who doesn't come to the lesson, then has problems with it. And then instead of going and watching the lesson, you ask me a question, right? And say, can you teach it to me? I'm happy to teach it to you, but I want you to try watching the lesson first. So if you're still having problems with 104, which was the one where we had to do the 2 boxes stuck together, it's a hard assignment. It honestly is. I graded it yesterday and I sent it back to a whole lot of people. Here's a short review of that assignment. So you can click that link now and open it up and watch it after this class. It's about 10 minutes long and it kind of goes through the steps how to do that. If you wanted to watch the longer version of that lesson, here's the longer version of that lesson. This one's a little bit longer, but they both take you through that homework, that 1004. If you've watched it and you still don't understand it, then come to math and I will help you. I'm happy to help you. I'm not saying I won't help you. Eli, go ahead.
Wait, I think I forgot.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I have the same problem. I can't watch YouTube.
Okay, but you have been coming to all the classes, so you're fine.
Yeah, but my auntie lets me watch the ones you give, the videos you give me.
Perfect.
So I don't have a problem. But also, I did the Paradise Kit thing. Can I get my virtual reward?
After I grade it, okay?
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, there's a grade on that? It's just
Mila.
a Paradise Kit.
I know. Mila, go ahead. What's your question?
I have
Ooh.
Why is it?
I don't know. It's crazy. Let's all mute our mics and see if that helps.
There's 2
Hello?
Milas.
Hello?
There are 2 Milas. That's why. Do you have 2 devices logged in, Mila? If you do, make sure you turn off the sound on one of them, or else it does that. It does that echo thing. Go ahead. Are you going to talk? Or put it in chat? You don't have 2 devices. You're on there twice for some reason, Mila. I don't know.
Maybe turn off your volume just for the first one and ask your question, and then it might not do it.
Okay. Mila, go ahead and type it into the chat if you don't want to echo. So here's the deal. If you are successfully getting all your homework done and turned in on time and you understand it, then you don't have to come to the Zooms. If you are not getting all your homework turned in on time, and I want you to always do the latest assignment first. So today I want you doing 1104 and submitting that quiz before you go back and do 1101, 1102, 1103. Okay, so that you're not getting further and further behind. I want you to do 1005 in math before you do 1004, 1003, 1002. Okay. And I'd like you to work on your writing and make sure that you're staying up with the latest things so you're not getting more and more behind. All right. So if you're getting everything done, you don't have to come to all the Zooms. If you're not getting everything done, you have to come to all the Zooms and see if that helps you get your homework turned in. If you're a person who's coming to all the Zooms and still not getting all your homework turned in, that's okay. You're doing your best. okay? But what I don't like to see is people who don't come to the Zooms, don't get their homework turned in, don't email me and tell me why. That's not really attending school, okay? So if you have an issue going on at home, I totally get that. We're all human. We all have lives that get in the way. But just ignoring school is not really an option. So I'm sorry to give you a big lecture this morning, but I've noticed a lot of people don't have things turned in. So as we get to math, there's a whole bunch of missing math assignments as well. I'm going to send out reminders of what you have due today. Everybody's going to get a reminder of all the things you have due, which is a lot of work for me. And really, it's work you should be doing. So please, those of you who I said are doing a great job, I'm sorry you had to listen to this little lecture, but I need kids to step it up a little bit right now and try to get some things done. And if you're not able to, let me know, communicate with me, please. All right. So we talked about end of year celebration. We talked about coming into the live Zooms, especially if you're not getting everything done. We talked about watching the recordings of the lessons if you're having problems. Javen, I think you missed me saying that you're missing all of your Mod 11 language arts assignments. You don't have any of them turned in yet. So you need to go into Mod 11 and you need to get 1101, 1102, 1102 again, 1103 all turned in today, okay? All right. Yes. So Mila, come to math today and I will sit alone with you and help you do it, okay?
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah, I appreciate that. Javen, did you have a question?
Even though I was a little bit late, I still came in.
Good. That's fine. It's great. But you need to make sure and get your language arts done today, okay? You're missing a bunch of it. All right, friends. And I think sometimes you guys read the lesson and you just forget to submit the quizzes at the end. I want to show you today's language arts, and I would like you guys to start with this language arts. It's not due till tomorrow, but it's language arts 04. So where is it? Let's go to the calendar and look at today. So here's the 15th, and it's going to tell you all the things going on today. And it says, oh, actually it's due today. Submit the quiz theme, summer in New York City. Don't start by clicking on the quiz though, because that will end up with you pretty confused about what's going on. So this is a pretty long chapter. I'm not sure why I assigned both of them today, probably to get it done before we go to Friday. So you might have actually a little bit of extra time, but try to do this today. So it starts out because the kids are in New York City exploring. This is the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It's an amazing museum. All these museums in New York are, or most of them are free for kids. You get to go to them for free. Here's a very famous painting, Claude Monet's Lilies over the Water Pond. And this is kind of fun because it goes through some famous paintings and how they make you feel. Very famous painting by Rembrandt, self-portrait, Kandinsky. So then it talks about what you're going to learn in this lesson. You're going to learn about interjections. Interjections are words like, hey, ouch, wow, cool, things like that that you shout out. And then you're going to work on summarizing again. Most of you did pretty well on that last time. Remember that a summary should include all the most important information, but just a shortened version. Like if somebody asked you, tell me in a 5-finger story what that story was about. It was about this, 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 and this. That's a summary. It's about maybe a sentence for every paragraph is what I would suggest in length. So not too long, not too short. They have you go through some words and do some word work. And then there's some reading, but this chapter is this module is a little confusing because there's a lot of stories in it. So it starts out with the Statue of Liberty out here on Ellis Island. Has anybody ever been there? You used to be able to go all the way up in the Statue of Liberty, but now you can't, I guess. I've never been out there. I've been near it. They talk a little bit about the theme of the story. Remember that the theme is not the topic, but it's the message or lesson that the author is trying to teach the reader. It can include a moral. So if they ask you the theme, sometimes it's stated, sometimes it's implied, and you have to infer it. Okay, so you want to say, what's the author trying to teach me? And this is all about how to find the theme. So if you're having problems finding a theme, this is a good place to go to learn how to do that. Super important to be able to find a theme. We're starting to think about getting ready for our state tests, and these are all skills you're going to need. If I sent you back your summary last time and said it was way too long or way too short or needed to be written in full sentences, please read this on how to summarize in steps. This will take you through step by step how to summarize to give a brief recount of the main points. So here it teaches you how to summarize. This is just a lesson. It's not a story down here. Talks about what the characters wanted. Somebody wanted, but so is one way to summarize. And then we go to the next chapters of Summer in New York City. So if you didn't read ahead on Summer in New York City, if you stopped at the point where the kids had the backpack and were going to finish their day, then you need to go read the rest of this story. It's right here. It's pretty fun what happens to our friend John and Paul and all the other kids that day. Although I will say, I don't think that they made the safest choices, but still it has an okay ending. So you're going to read it. And of course, then they're going to have you practice thinking about how to summarize it. If you don't want to write it down, it's fine, but try to say it out loud, like what your summary of that story would be. And then they talk about, were you able to figure out the theme? So you get some practice on theme. And then they talk about interjections. My goodness. Wow. Interjections. Gross. Eek. Yay. Darn. Uh-oh. Those are all interjections. They're, I don't know what you call those. Cool words that express things. And then they talk about how to use quotations. So now we're into the writing lesson for a few pages. We'll talk about that this afternoon. And finally, your assignment is a quiz. Now, let me show you that quiz, because one thing I want to teach you is a great test taking skill is to preview a quiz before doing the reading. So if you look through the questions here, it's going to talk about this other thing that you're going to read. So they give you something new to read. They talk about what's the theme. So you're going to need to know how to come up with a theme. They talk about how to solve for a word. Then they have you, so they do like 3 words. Then they talk about an interjection. What is an interjection? Which one uses an interjection? So you need to know that. Which sentence uses dialogue correctly? So here you need to know how to use dialogue. So pay attention to that lesson. And finally, they have you type a summary of Summer in New York City. So the one that you practiced, they want you to type it here. I don't know if they tell you that on that page of the lesson, but if I were you, I might open 2 pages and make sure that I type my summary here. So this summary, since that lesson had a story that was like 10 pages long, it should probably be at least 5 to 7 or 8 sentences, that summary. It shouldn't be a whole page. That's too much. Today and every day, readers, when you're going to take a reading or a language arts test, one great test taking strategy is to preview the questions before you do the reading so that you're paying attention to the proper things. So I would actually recommend you go open up 2 sites, one with the quiz, read through the questions quickly, and then as you do the chapter, fill out the quiz. Because on the state test, you're allowed to look at the story while you're doing the problems. Okay? That is kind of it for today. So just to sum up, to do a summary of what the lesson was today. Number 1, you need to pay attention and make sure you're getting your lesson submitted. Number 2, do today's lessons first. Don't let yourself get further and further behind. Number 3, if you are successful at doing all the lessons, you don't have to come to all the Zooms. But if you're not getting everything turned in, you should come to all the Zooms. Number 4, if you miss a lesson and you don't understand the assignment, please go watch the video before asking me to help reteach it. And number 5, I'm always happy to reteach if you need that. Okay? So right now, make sure that you've gone back and made sure that you've submitted today's work, do today's work, and then go back and make sure you've caught up on the things you're missing. If anyone has a question, you can stay with me, but that's kind of it for today. I will see you guys at 10 o'clock for math.